So, Alexisonfire.
Yes.
How are you?
I'm great, man. In the beautiful backdrop of Hatfield.
Yeah.
On our second day of Slam Dunk. And so far, being greeted in the UK has been... I'm just overwhelmed every time, you know. We take big blocks of time off, and then when we return, it seems to be more mayhem, more crazy every single time. And last night's show up north in Leeds was just, I don't know, I'm beside myself. It's a great time,
Good. And you got to play some new tracks, I'm sure.
Yes, we're starting to integrate a few new tracks,
Good. We've been playing Soleil as our recent single. What can you tell us about that track?
Well, that, I mean, I can say that in the last 6 or 7 years, whenever there was time, we'd get together in Toronto, and we'd always have these like loose bits and pieces of songs kind of floating and maybe like, you know, put on the back shelf. And so the riff of the chorus Dallas had for years, and it took shape when we, you know, I guess maybe about 16 months ago got together and started shaping Song Soleil. The lead that Wade does on that song is another idea that he had from years ago, and it just so happened they kind of married themselves together. Lyrically, it's you know, we're at this point in our career where we're very, very, like, you know, being a band for 20 years, there's certainly a deep connection, but we seem to have opened up another trap door to our connection, and it's deeper. And we're not so individually precious to our own kind of individual parts right now. And so Wade wrote the lyrics for Dallas to sing, you know, which is unique. Maybe in the past, you know, whoever writes the lyrics, they sing the song kind of thing. And it's interesting the way this song eventually was mixed, because it was a very kind of like Sunny Day Real Estate, kind of like chord heavy kind of like... you know, melodic song, but by the time we sort of like mixed it, and we had our good friend who plays with us now, Matt Kelly, he's playing organ, pedal steel, keys, Juno all over the record, and we found a way for him to tastefully do that for our live show. But we kind of utilize his input on Song Soleil as more of the foreground, and we kind of like, it has this kind of like soft polish over it, and so now it's, I don't know, got a bit of like a tone of The Cure or something like that,
Okay, nice. Yeah, so the new record drops at the end of June.
Yes.
How much of a comparison does this have to your previous records, or have you switched things up a little bit?
Well, it's still Alexisonfire at the end of the day. Whenever we get in a room together, we're not really writing for anyone else but ourselves. It's the first full-length record in 13 years, and in that time, a lot of us individually have been busy with a lot of different projects and doing different studio work. Wade's done a lot of music for behind the scenes for movies and video games, and played with Gallows, and you know, has his Doom's Children and stuff going on right now. George playing with Dead Tired, Jordan like playing for years with Billy Talent, and obviously Dallas doing A City in Color. And a lot of different studio experience, working with different producers, different engineers. And I would say with this record, we just, as a collective, we produced the record ourselves. And the songwriting process, like I said, there's a lot of ideas floating around from years ago. But it's a very dynamic record. I mean, most of y'all have heard 3 tracks by now, I'm sure. And all 3 of those tracks are different from one another. And more to be revealed. And the songs left to be heard are quite different from what you've already heard. But it works as a body of work. And I think the approach of, specifically vocally, between Dallas, Wade, and George, kind of finding a place to sing in unison, almost as one. George sings a lot more on this record as well. At the end, it still is Alexisonfire, and there is still some barn burners and some rippers, and George gets gnarly. But it is, as much as it can be chaotic at times, it's very simple as well. Like, I mean, from our first record, it was, you know, a myriad of just parts kind of thrown at the wall, not really knowing what we were going for. Not to say that we exactly knew what we were going for with this record,
Yeah.
but I think with more experience and perhaps age, we found a way to just have more simple, impactful songwriting and well-crafted, curated songs. And we're of the mindset, I'm of the mindset that less is more,
Yep.
specifically with playing bass as well. No need to be noodling up on the 12th fret high on the G string. I'll do that once in a while, but like, no, like just hold it down, find that glue with the with our drummer, and just hold down the fort, you know? No
Yeah.
need to be the lead guitarist, bassist. But no, the less is more is certainly more impactful. But we experimented with a lot of pedal steel, a lot of keys, like I said,
Yep.
and a lot of slide guitar in a way that works with our sound. So it's a new direction for us, but at the same time, it's definitely still us.
So with such a big gap between kind of records being, what was it, 13 years, did you say?
Yes.
Was it COVID, you would say, that brought you back together to do this, or was it something else?
You know what? Honestly, it was a very troublesome, toilsome 2.5 years for everyone on this planet. It was definitely no joke, and you know, it was trying times, and I'm very grateful that I had another creative outlet to focus, you know, my passion, my mind, and like attach myself to something that was meaningful. And I would say that it was due to the lockdown.
Yeah.
We were all forced to pause, and that did. If there is a silver lining, it is that it did bring us together. Some of us are workaholics, and we don't know how to stop. And if it weren't for this. I don't think it would have happened, to be honest. And so it gave us individually time, and I hope it did with a lot of people. And I love when I hear close friends that like leaned into new passions or new directions during such a questionable time. Because during that tough time, sometimes it's easy to just go dark, you know. And like we leaned into like each other and spent the time pulling some of those old ideas from the back shelf, and then the creative juices were just. They were just flowing. It's a comfortable space to be in when we're all in the same room. And before we knew it, within about 2 months, we had enough material for a full length.
Yeah.
And just to have the time enabled us to do it. So it was a long-winded answer to yes. It was. That's what brought us together.
Yeah, good. Yeah. And you're on tour later
Yes.
in the year, and in the fall, but you can't wait to be kind of doing a full run again.
Oh, it's... So this is the busiest and most active Alexisonfire has been in, I'd say, over a decade. You know, obviously since 2015, we've been kind of popping out and doing some festivals, and we dropped a few singles, and it's been very meaningful. And because it's been so good and it's felt so good collectively, like internally within the band, it's created this desire to do more with it. And then hence a new record, and then with that, and finding a way for all of it, because we all have our individual lives back at home as well, but we're finding a manageable way to still do what we love and not burn ourselves out, but be busy with it. So we just, you know, in March, kind of started the touring cycle down in South America, and we're in it now, and we're going to be busy until about December now, which is great, yeah.
And what's 2023 holding for you? Do you think it's going to be touring? Do you think you'll be releasing more music, or kind of what's the idea?
Hopefully both, to tell you the truth. I would say the beginning of 2023, we're not looking too far in advance at the moment, but there are definitely markets that we want to go visit, for sure. And I was just talking with Dallas the other day, and there is... a bunch of material that is still tucked away on a deeper back shelf that and we have old demos of that are have potential, and that's the kind of zest that keeps us going. Is like obviously it's all inclusive. We love performing live. It's like nothing can be said about that energy of that symbiotic energy. You know, it goes both ways. And when wherever you are in the world, and if you're in a 400 cap room or you're at a big festival, it's that same feeling, you know? Yeah. And so that's special, but equally as special is just when there's 5 of us in a room writing and recording and kind of figuring things out. That part of doing it is like definitely keeps us going. So 2023, I would hope there would be more music.
Good. Excellent. Well, it's been a pleasure.
Right on.
Having a chat with you.
Right on.
Cheers.
Yeah, you too, man.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, man.
Cheers.